Back here, episode 2. I'm by myself for the moment. Colin is he should be along shortly. Maybe he'll make an appearance this episode, but I figured I would start getting some of this wood forwarder to use a forwarder and get some of it hauled out of the woods here. Get a little bit of a jump start on him. He got pretty far with the harvester, so I think there's plenty on the ground here. I can start hauling it out and loading up a log truck. Start getting ahead of him a little bit. Hey, I can't even see where the harvester is. So like I said in the last episode, we're playing with the FDR mod. This is these mods, nothing really special about them. They just I keep calling them FDR mods. He makes different equipment versus the stuff that's the game comes with. Um, but the stuff the game comes with, the grapples, for whatever reason, they don't grip the logs properly. Like you can see here, the logs are right, nice, tight in the grapple. The factory ones, they don't do that. They don't. I don't even know how to describe it, other than if you were to grab this this group of logs here with the factory game, the grapple would get stuck open like this. The logs would never roll up in tight, but I mean, you wouldn't have to worry about them falling out. It just doesn't look right. And when you grab the logs, there's not like I don't know how to say it I guess for lack of a better way of describing it, I would say there's no satisfying like the log doesn't just move smooth. Doesn't move like a real one would. Not that anything in this game really moves like a real something other would. You can see sometimes that the logs just are gonna slide out of the trailer, and it's just not a perfect game. But maybe someday they'll be able to make some adjustments and make it a little more playable. I try not to load those the tops of the trees in, just because they're kind of hard to deal with the different equipment and trying to make the piles look neat. But depth perception is also something I struggle with in this game. Right now I'm playing with two Thrustmaster joysticks. Otherwise the game would be near unplayable. Just recently I started playing on PC. I used to play Farming Simulator on Xbox, and you'd have an Xbox controller, and anytime you'd want to move a boom for anything, it would be hold RB, move left thumbstick, hold LB, move right thumbstick, whatever. And it was always difficult to play. You could never do anything smooth like this. It'd take you an hour to load up a forwarder with any wood at all, or I should say a full load of wood. But the playing like it's a real piece of equipment makes it a little bit more fun. It's kind of funny because most people that would find this game fun to play probably don't have themselves a computer. You'd be lucky if they have the most recent video game console. So I think that's why there's probably not that many YouTube videos, any good YouTube videos of this stuff, I would say. Getting hung up on that tree there. Didn't get cut down though, and I have to talk to Colin about that. One interesting thing, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but these FDR machines, you don't hear the noise of the machine from the inside. He's got it turned way down. I mean, in real life, you'd hope that's the way it would be. You'd have some good sound insulation in your cab, but I wish you could hear it a little bit more, just a little bit. Caught on a tree there. Anybody that's watching this, I'm sure, knows what I'm talking about when I say that the factory machines. When I say factory, I mean the Giants supplied in-game machines that are not mods. Any of the base game machines. That's what I should say. Any of the base game machines. How bad they suck. I'm sure if you played the game before, you know how bad they are. But I feel like they're really missing the boat here in building a logging simulator. Or, yeah, I guess really a logging simulator. I mean, I have these two joysticks here. I remember going to logging shows when I was younger, and at different booths, these guys would have. I mean, this was when I was 10 years old, so I can't even imagine how archaic these simulators were. They had like a flight simulator like this set up for logging. I can't remember ever looking at it. I can't remember. Oh, shut the machine off by accident. I can't remember what it looked like when I was younger. I just remember the booth. But why can't you just make the game like a simulator? I mean, these companies would pay you money to put their machine in the game so that they could run simulators for people. Or other people would buy the game just to use it as a simulator. Kind of like there's a racing game that was known for being a good simulator game. I think it was called Assetto Corsa. And that's what everybody that had a racing simulator played, because it was made for racing. Even the professional NASCAR guys play it. So why wouldn't you have it? Why wouldn't you try to build your game as realistic as possible to allow for real companies to come to you and have their equipment put in the game? It just doesn't make any sense to me why you would cut corners. And that's literally all they do is it's either carelessness or cutting corners, because this guy, I don't know what his real name is. His YouTube channel is called FDR. This FDR guy makes these mods that are way better than the base game machines for this game. But the people that make the base game, they can't make it this good. I mean, I just don't get it. I'm not sure how this series is gonna go. I'm just gonna play the game here, do what I want to do, kind of record it, talk a little bit. Colin will be in and out, I'm sure. This was supposed to be a multiplayer series, but sometimes it's difficult, especially where this isn't a job. We're just doing it because we like to play the game. It's kind of difficult to link up in adult life, so I might end up playing a lot of the time by myself. Maybe he'll end up joining me most of the time. I'm not sure how we'll do it, but see, this is what I'm talking about. These logs here, they're just sliding out the back. In real life, I'm sure this would happen when you went up a steep hill. But I can use these load straps to combat it a little bit, but they shouldn't be sliding out like that. I'm gonna try to spin the machine around here and run it up the hill backwards, and maybe I can get them to slide back to where they're supposed to be. See. Oh, that's good enough. Just run it backwards up this hill here. I mean, in real life, that's the way you would go anyway. And I talked about playing this game realistic, but I'm not a real life vlogger, so I don't know everything. There goes a depth perception on me. That sound, those sounds are really cool. Those little bangs when the grapple gets open and closed all the way. Lock that up. There's the harvester. One funny thing that I think is it's funny and cool at the same time, and some people I'm sure would think it's stupid, but I find that um, like in real life, if I was to run an excavator, sometimes I know what I want the machine to do, which I'm sure is the same case with everybody. You know what you want the machine to do, but you can't get it to do it. You're fighting your brain. You're trying to move the controls, and say you want the main boom to come up, you're bringing the stick boom in, or you're trying to go out with the stick boom, you're going down with the main boom, and you just get mixed up in your head a little bit. It happens to me anyway. I find myself doing the same thing with this, even in this game. So playing this game only is going to make it easier to playing this game and getting good at it, I should say, is only going to make it easier to operate equipment in the future, assuming it has the same control scheme that I've set on this game. I'm going to have to spin back around and get face back downhill so that way the logs don't keep sliding out. I mean, I got them. Oh, look at that. See, sliding out. One thing I think that could be a little bit improved on with these mods is the camera angles. We do have an in-cab view, but it's I don't know. I guess I would like to stay with this view here, but maybe add a little bit of a wider point of view. Like push the camera backwards a little bit. We'll get it. We'll get there. 17 minutes in on the recording here, and we don't even have one full load with the forwarder. Pretty close to full, but unstrap this load here and maybe it'll readjust itself. Makes me wonder though. Maybe I'll look it up, see if there is an actual logging simulator that these companies use. Maybe I can find the simulator that I remember seeing back in the day. I get that last log down there, I think I'll head back and unload this. Now, I said it in the last video, but I really wish they had like a I don't know if I don't know if I would say standard forwarder, but pretty much a standard thing. Just where the crane spins not the entire cab. This is a Timber Pro forwarder here, and it just doesn't. I don't know. I just don't. I really like the way the whole cab spins. It's kind of an odd machine. It's like I don't have one of their harvesters or tree saw, whatever you call it. I haven't bought one in this game. There is one to be had, but it's literally the the cab and engine and everything there is literally the same thing as the I'll just show it real quick here. So the body here, thing that sits on the tracks, is literally the same as this body here that sits on the forwarder. And I'm sure it was just done for easy design. As far as in real life, they already had a factory producing this. All they had to do is put it on wheels and add a trailer behind it. But I'd really rather prefer something like this. But again, this is a base game machine, and it just doesn't work right. So I'm not gonna worry about it. This is not a base game machine here, but it didn't work either. It's more like the base game, so we'll stick with this for now, and hopefully he comes out with a new mod soon. But we'll get the log loader here out of the way. Maybe once we get this forwarder unloaded, we'll load up the rest of that trailer there and take it over and sell it, see how much we get. I would say if this is interesting at all, I would say just bear with me as far as audio quality goes. I have a microphone set up right in front of me, but being that it's something I'm not really used to as far as gaming and talking into a microphone, it's kind of difficult to make sure that I'm speaking directly towards it and keeping a consistent audio volume. But we'll see. I'm gonna watch this back and see how bad it is and make a decision how I'm gonna proceed. If it's good enough, maybe we'll leave it. If not, obviously I'll have to do something different. But where it's the second episode, I'm not too worried about it. Ideally, I'd like to keep the logs as straight and square as possible, just because it makes it easier. But easier to load or do whatever the next step is. It's always easier, but the game doesn't always help you with that. The realism just isn't quite there. when I watch these guys play, a lot of them are pretty good at talking. They just keep conversation going with themselves the entire time. I'm not really that good at it, and anytime I try to make a video like this, it always makes me think how good those guys actually are to be able to talk non-stop and make it, I wouldn't say their conversations make it entertaining, because really when I'm watching the video, I'm more entertained by what they're doing. But if there was a silent video, it wouldn't be as good as if they were talking. There we go. We're almost there. A couple more grabs and we'll have it. Park this over here for now, and we'll get that log truck pulled in. I just forget to shut these off. I am gonna spin this log truck around though, that way the logs aren't sliding out while I'm loading it. I might do some map editing here and make a perfectly level area for our landing, just so that I can load logs without worrying about them sliding out of the log trailer here. Somewhere right about there should be good. Strap those so that you move stuff around. One thing I think would be really cool is if you could cut a bunch of trees here and get a huge pile stacked up and then start loading trucks. But the problem is you get too many logs out here and the game doesn't like it, and it ends up playing like crap because you get too many logs, there's too much stuff going on. I wonder if a machine could really throw around a log truck like that in real life. If I had to guess, really what would happen is you just bend these stakes. They just get all bent up and you'd ruin a trailer, but I've never seen it happen, so I couldn't say for sure. I keep complaining about my depth perception here, but this is really where it's really a problem. Get these little twigs out of here because they're doing nothing but causing a problem. Come on. Trying to bury it down in the logs a little bit so I can get a big grab, but didn't want to go in there. Apparently those logs didn't want to go on the trailer either. Whoa. See, that's where the game is just not quite what I would like it to be. You know, in real life, if you grabbed a log like that, you could at least move it, but whoa. Again, flick the logs like 100 miles an hour. You could never do that. It is a bit of a challenge to play this game where you don't have any feedback from the actual piece of equipment that you're sitting in. But like if you were to, when I stick the grapple into the ground there, it starts lifting the machine. In real life, you would feel that, and you know that you're into the ground. This here, sometimes you don't notice it, and that log in there. Sometimes you don't notice it, and makes it a little tough, but with all my complaints, it's still a fun game to play, I feel like. That log just fell out of the trailer. Just trying to get them squared up a little bit so they're not hanging out like that. Probably be the last grab right here. that good, we'll take that down and maybe we'll start recouping some money from all the equipment we've bought here. See it? I didn't even notice that. There's that one log there that's sliding out. Just looking down there to see if the shifter was actually shifting or not. And this truck doesn't appear to be. Guessing we're gonna get about 50,000 for this, about what I was getting before. So this one might be. I would say this is about the same amount as I normally have on the truck. So. Come on. Oh, I didn't sell it all. I was gonna say. Got gypped on the wood, but even still, I think we're not even close to 50,000. Well, one forwarder load hauled out. We loaded up one log truck, one trailer load, brought back and sold it. So $30,000 today. Actually, it was more like 40, but we'll call it there. Colin never came. He never made an appearance today, but maybe in the next one. Next episode, maybe we'll run a harvester and get some more trees cut. That way we can keep hauling wood out and selling it. Eventually, we're going to be working our way up to the top of that mountain there. Trees aren't rendered in, but there's trees all the way up there. So. Hope that was even a little bit entertaining, and maybe if you watch to the end, maybe you can watch the next video. Thanks for watching.